Welcome to Sounds of the Dolphin Star Temple, home of Pleiadian Lightwork. My name is Inka van Stralen, and I'm happy to be your host for this episode of Sounds of the Dolphin Star Temple. I am a Pleiadian Lightworker, and I'm very passionate about Pleiadian Lightwork. I truly believe in its power to contribute to the shift in human consciousness on this planet. So over the next few months, I'll be doing a series of interviews with Pleiadian Lightworkers around the world, and I will explore with them what it is in Pleiadian Lightwork that can help bring the shift about. The first person that I interviewed is Roberto Jativa. Roberto is an energy healer and a Pleiadian Lightworker, as well as a member of the board of the Dolphin Star Temple Mystery School. So we spoke about the Dolphin Star Temple and Pleiadian Lightwork, and I got out of that conversation feeling so inspired. So I am really thrilled to share this conversation with you, and I hope you will get as much inspiration out of this conversation as I did. So without further ado, here is Roberto.
Hi, Inka. Thank you for inviting me to this interview. I'm very excited to share a little bit of my work and my life to all the people who is interested in Pleiadian Lightwork and Dolphin Star Temple.
So maybe you can start with, telling people who you are and what you do.
Yes, I am 42 years old. I live in Ecuador. And over the years in life, I've been in different places seeking for different modalities of healing. And at some point, I went to the US. And I got introduced to Pleiadian Lightwork. And now I decided to come back to Ecuador. I am married, no kids yet, but we are thinking about it. After that, we are now more settled back home because traveling a lot is more difficult. And I'm very excited that finally I left behind my old career in business and that now I'm dedicating full time to Pleiadian Lightwork, which is a more aligned path with my true self. So in general, I feel very pleased with how my life is at the moment.
Okay. So did you get introduced to Pleiadian Lightwork in the US, or how did you find it?
It was a process over the years. Just before my wife and I moved to the US in 2005, at the end of that year, somebody that we met here gave my wife a very old version of the book, the Pleiadian Workbook. So he said to her, this book will be good for you. This person lived in the US for many years and he just moved back to Ecuador to retire. So he was exposed to the literature that was more available in the US at that time. So she started reading the book, applying the exercises, and I noticed some changes in her. But things just are amazingly how they just happened. She had to take an English training in Davis, California. And that location was very close to Mount Shasta. In one of the weekends that she had off from that training, she just searched online things to do around Davis, and DST Amorah Quan Yin was one of the top things to do. And then she went to visit her. And she had the first session with her in person. I was amazed to see the results after that session. I always say that Amorah sent me a different wife after that first session. And then we decided to move on live. We were just making it to the US, trying to ground, trying to make home again in location, different language, different life. So we kind of disconnected temporarily from the personal work and the healing work, but it was always within us. Years after, we moved to Toronto, Canada, which was more like a more permanent location to stay. And then I was about to become 35. It was just a few months before that. And for those who know a little bit of astrology, every cycle of 7 years, it's a big transformation into life. So I was about to start a new cycle of 7 years. And I had these dreams and this inner voice telling me, connect with Amorah. I never connected with her. It was only that one experience with my wife, and that's it. And 6 years happened before that. So it was a big gap where we were not ready yet to connect with her. And then I called her, I got my first appointment, and my life changed. So it's amazing how things happen. But from that point, we were hooked and we started working with her more frequently and eventually joining the courses.
Okay, so your life changed. Can you
Absolutely.
tell, yeah, would you like to share more about that?
Absolutely. Um, it's important to know that we are beings who have experienced life more than once. We have many lifetimes. And in one of those lifetimes that I had before, at some level, I agree to embrace as part of my consciousness a dark entity. The technical name is a dark overlord. So my very first session, Amora found that, and immediately she mentioned that, my entire body froze. I felt like I could not move. It was like manifesting things in my physical body as we were doing the distant healing. So doing the work, we cleared the dark overlord, and I felt a very powerful sense of joy and freedom that I never experienced before. In certain way before that experience, I could say that my life always had some level of a struggle. I would try something, it will not flow easily. It will just be always some sort of a blockage or some sabotage. After that, things just flow. I just put my intention in something and it just happens and it's just very easy and flowing. So uh, there was another situation I felt before that it was removed, a sensation that I was not free, which is very logical because I am free. But I was always telling my wife, I don't know why, but I feel that I'm not free. Something in me makes me feel that way. So it was a powerful experience. And I could say after that point, my life changed drastically. It's been only 7 years from that point, a little bit more than 7 years, but it's like even the photos that I have from those years before and the photos that I have now, it shows in my face, it shows in my energy. So it's amazing how this work can transform people's life.
Okay. And have you seen it in other people's lives as well? Because you do sessions, many
Yes,
sessions, I think.
it could be from different points of perspectives. For example, I have clients who have been looking for work for many years. I have a good rate of success with clients who are not finding that perfect love or that soulmate. And it's just a process of finding out what is in your heart and identifying those layers and clearing those layers. A lot of pain, a lot of distrust, a lot of resentment. If you are a female, healing the archetype with the masculine. If you are a male, healing the archetype with the feminine. And all these different layers doing the work, they finally open up in a level that they can open and trust and be vulnerable, willing to risk the heart. And then it's amazing how, like magic, they manifest the partner and they just start a new life like that. I have a good number of clients who have achieved that after many years alone or trying deep relationships and not working out, very frustrated with the situation and happy because if you really want love in your life, you could attain that if you do this kind of work. You can really clear those layers. So that could be one of the big ones that I can share.
What do you think is the best thing about Pleiadian Lightwork?
I believe that we are a result of a lot of programs that we have embraced as our truth. And those programs are coming not just from this life, from when we are in our mom's womb. It's coming from our parents, society, religion, the education system, the society in general, but it's also coming from past lives. So all of this accumulation of different programs basically mold us. And then we become that human being who is really aware of all these different programs. So Pleiadian Lightwork to me is an amazing tool where you start cleaning all these programs. For example, the program that says that if you have a religion, you cannot go beyond that, right? You cannot explore spirituality beyond that. If you clear that, then you don't have any limits. You can explore your spiritual growth without limits. Or for example, program that says if you have too much success and money, you will become a bad human being, or you cannot be spiritual. You clear those ideas, and then you start becoming very prosperous, successful, but it's still being connected with the spirit and being very spiritual.
Yeah.
Even in the physical health, if you have belief systems that you say, if I am sick, I will call attention from people, family members, I will receive love and nourishment, you will develop illnesses or even accidents. Once you clear that and you work on your self-worth and self-esteem, then you start attracting people that naturally is inspired to nourish you and give you time and energy just because you exist, just because you deserve it. So it can be applied in every area of life. And the more we clear these layers, the more we clear these programs, the true self is able to emerge. And once that true self emerges, it's important and so powerful because it creates transformation. The transformation is maybe changing your career, leaving that relationship that you have been for X number of years, leaving that location where you live and looking for a place that is more able to connect with you more. And just it can be many decisions that you can make through this process, but eventually you will start connecting with your true self and creating a community that is new because it's not like the previous one where you are able to show to the world your true self and then they will embrace you and love you as you are. You don't have to compromise at all. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to hide. You don't have to kind of look great all the time because otherwise you will be judged. So to me, Pleiadian Lightwork is one of the most powerful tools to achieve that lifestyle that we all deserve. A life of freedom, a life of connection, a life of meaningful relationships, a life where we are driving basically.
Yeah.
So that's why I love this.
Okay, so that thriving, that life of thriving, we achieve that through unveiling our true self, is what I hear you saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And
And in so many layers. In the school, we learn that we have the conscious layers in the conscious mind, we have the subconscious layers in the subconscious mind, but we have also past life layers to keep clearing. And because we're multidimensional beings, if one past self is traumatized or is still stuck in some particular hook or program, then the current self cannot be fully free. So the ability of the practitioners to find these moments in time and space to help people to clear these different problems, I think is very powerful because it helps people to get to a level that probably no other technique can achieve on this depth. So that's why I feel this is such a relevant tool at this time on planet Earth.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, because actually that brings me to my next question. You know, what do you think Pleiadian Lightwork has to offer in this particular day and age? What does it have to offer to the world?
Well, I will respond with something that Amorah shared with us in a class years ago. She was sharing that as humanity, we are going from the third dimension into the fourth dimension, meaning that we're going to become less solid, more subtle, more connected with a higher frequency. So, in the process to release all this density from this reality, it's important to be able to avoid any type of contraction. She explained us that in the fourth dimension, we will be able to know what everybody else is feeling and thinking. There is no secrets for anybody. And also, we will be able to manifest immediately. If we are afraid of something, that what we are afraid of will manifest immediately. And if it's something we want so much, it will be manifested immediately. So we have to be very careful with our emotions and our thoughts because they can create immediately a reality on that level. So she said, why don't we start working on that level from here? So number one suggestion was to be able to live in truth all the time. And the more that you start merging that yourself through the healing, you start anchoring this person who is always able to share. If you're happy, you share, you show in your face you're happy. If you are sad, you show it also. You don't need to wear any mask to get approval. If you're having issues with your partner, you show that. You can even share. So, yes, some challenges with my partner, we're working out, but you don't hide. You just express what you feel, what you think, who you are, your ups and downs, and in that way, you invite other people in your circle to say, okay, I feel I can be very honest with this person. He's opening up to me in a deep way. I might be able to do the same. And then start inviting people to live in truth, not being afraid of any judgmental or negative consequences out of that. So, Pleiadian Lightwork is helping humanity to get to this level where we're able to be more subtle, clearer energetically. We're talking about removing many energy cores from humans. We're talking about removing a lot of different energetic parasites from different chakras. We're talking about removing dark entities from different parts of our energy, not just the programs, the negative beliefs, and the psychic contracts. So we're talking about a variety of different elements that will able to anchor more light, because light is information and darkness is the lack of information. So the more information you're able to anchor, and you are just an open book, you anchor more light, and that light can be spread out more easily. Now, the body needs to also go with that work, because the body is the instrument. So it's important also to join a healthy lifestyle. So in that way, your energy can sustain that vibration that you're able to anchor to the work. But it's something that happens naturally. Many of my clients doing the work, finally they say, okay, I'm not drinking alcohol anymore, or I'm not doing drugs anymore, or I feel that I need to just rest and not push myself to go to parties or social events like before. They just feel it, they just know it. And slowly they start becoming more called to go to nature, or to be more honest with themselves. Oh, I need like just taking water today. I feel like I ate too much yesterday. So little things like that brings a deeper connection with yourself, and that of course is bringing light. So the more people is able to enter this light on different levels, the whole humanity will raise as a consciousness. So to me, this is the role from Pleiadian Lightwork, to be able to help people to get into this higher level of consciousness, where as a humanity we can all help each other to go to the fourth dimension.
Okay, I love what you say about, light or dark being absent of light, or absence of information. It takes away so much of that fear that, a lot of people have.
Absolutely.
Do you encounter that a lot?
Yes, that is part of the program from the previous age. It was a lot of things going secret, even secret societies, even secret meetings.
Mm.
And if you would be sharing things that are not approved by the standards of society at that time, maybe you will be punished, you will be put in jail. So it was a lot of negative consequences for whoever was trying to be completely open and sharing. But now we are in the age of Aquarius, which is the opposite. We are in the age of communication. All the information is coming out, and we can just see it. We can just search online, whatever we want, and information is there. Now, the more we work on ourselves, and the more we activate our crown chakras, and the more that we anchor more the connections with our guides and the spiritual realm, we will develop something very important, which is called discernment, because you will be able to discern from all the options out there which is bringing truth and which is deceiving you, because there is a lot of information also in the world where it's just way to distract people. So I think that in that sense, Pleiadian Lightwork has been able to gather very solid group of knowledge and techniques, and a path that is proven not just by our school this time, but Amorah was able to download these from previous lifetimes, also from the times where the temples in Atlantis and Lemuria were highly connected with the path of light. she was sharing with us also that that knowledge was available, including things like the activation, which is part of our the options that we offer in the school. So it's amazing how all these tools were destroyed by other humans at some point, but now they were brought forward to us in this very important time in humanity's history.
Yeah. So I heard you talking about a school. Can you elaborate a bit?
Yes. For those who are interested in learning more about techniques that can really help yourself and help others to transform lives, we have a series of trainings. We start with trainings that are called full sensory perception. These courses are basically helping us to activate our psychic abilities, which is important because that's why we brought them. But again, society, religion, all these different programs tend to make us block it. I know so many clients who were told they were not mentally fine because they were hearing voices, so they were seeing things as kids. They were given drugs and they were completely blocked. And there's a lot of fear about psychic abilities because of those experiences. So in these trainings, you really clear all of that trauma. You feel comfortable with your natural abilities, whatever they are. And the more you use them, you can use that for your life. You can identify if somebody is lying to you or somebody is trying to be honest with you, and makes your life easier. But the techniques really work. To me, be able to identify these psychic contacts that we make in moments of difficulty or moments of trauma, it really clears the space for healing. It really opens up in many ways, and you become more free. So it's a combination of different levels, level 1, 2, and 3, and it's a gradual process. We go from something more basic until you feel more comfortable. Then the second level, we achieve deep healing, and FSP3, the third level, is really going into a very powerful depth, working on a DNA place, working on something that I love is called the self-sabotager, one of my favorite processes to apply, because I feel that if we have a self-sabotager, we have to work on that so our life can just flow more easily. So working on these different trainings, you become a different person, you become a better human being, and that will manifest better relationships, more success in whatever you do, better physical health. It was just amazing how it helped me, and I have helped many people that I know. So these courses are the first group, and then we have other courses called PLIs, which we start with PLI1. Is one of the most significant programs that Amorah brought forward. It's similar to the acupuncture points, but these are called the cap points. They are points of energy in the spiritual body, and they cannot be seen with the physical eyes, but energetically we can feel them if we really tune into those points. And basically, there is like wiring happening in our entire body. Once you know the process, all those points get activated, and then you can really awaken yourself in much more a powerful version of you. When I had that process done on me, I felt that's the word I can say. I felt that I could do everything, very empowered. And of course, it requires previous work because you cannot sustain that level of energy flow if you don't have the previous work done. It's a process, it's not something that people can rush it. You have also to integrate within the trainings and practice the processes. But I think if you are patient and you do the processes in the way that they are offered, you will have great results, and people can really feel how they not just get healed, but also they have more tools that they can share. And if you feel inspired like me, maybe you want to do this in the future as well. So that's the overall perspective of the courses.
Okay, so and all of these trainings are in a mystery school, right?
Yes, it's a tradition that we maintain because it's something that comes from the old mystery schools, from the temples that I was mentioning before, from Atlantis, Lemuria, these places that we are told they never existed, but in reality they did exist and definitely hold a lot of truth, a lot of light. And that is part of the agenda to block that information from us. But as a DST, Dolphin Star Temple, we're trying to bring back this knowledge to people, to empower them. So I think that's a very important mission that we have as well.
So in your introduction, I mentioned that you are on the board of the Dolphin Star Temple. So what kind of organization is that?
Well, the Dolphin Star Temple is the organization that is behind the Mystery School. It's the way that Amorah found to create a legal organization to support our work. All the books, all the CDs, all the different material that we offer, which is available in our website, it shows so much powerful tools and elements that we can use to help ourselves. So this organization is making decisions about keeping the knowledge as pure as possible, making sure it's passed on in the best possible way with practices that are safe for people. So it's not something that we could create that other people can do things inappropriately and then affect others. So we're trying to maintain the school with good practices and also the information that is coming through. Much more material from Amorah, but it's slowly coming up more material from other teachers and practitioners, which is also valuable, and we're sharing that as well. So very interesting. I invite you to check our Facebook page, Dolphin Star Temple Mystery School.
Okay, I will definitely do that. And I encourage everyone who is looking and listening to this to do the same. Lots of interesting material there. But yeah, you already mentioned it, that there's a lot of new material coming out that is not brought forth by Amorah, of course, because, she's unfortunately no longer with us. So how do you see it progressing without her?
At the beginning, it was hard for me. It was a process to help myself to feel empowered without knowing that I had that powerful teacher supporting me or guiding me. And it was good for me at the end because I feel that I'm more empowered now, that I don't have any hook with anybody. And I have learned to trust my own guidance that comes forward through my own work. So before, I will always try to see her approval or to see what she thinks or what she feels about it. Now, I feel that was one of the things that she told me at some point when I had a meditation, that she wanted me to trust more my own capacity to just anchor information and bring forward information. And I think that many other teachers and practitioners around the world are doing the same. So in a certain way, her passing inspires us or motivate us to be more in this place where we are open channels, we trust it, and we share it with others. So I really feel this amazing because that's the biggest gift. You don't have that dependency or that insecurity in you anymore, and you can just feel more confident about anchoring information. I have reviewed some of the work from other members, and I feel it's beautiful and powerful and deep as well. So I am enjoying it. I'm excited to see more too.
So in fact, it has created like a sort of empowerment movement in the Pleiadian Lightwork community, so to speak.
Absolutely. It's growing in many countries. I hear huge groups having trainings, and it's amazing and very inspiring. So I'm glad that this is happening, and I think Amorah is pleased too.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else to add? Because we've covered a lot of topics and you've shared so much information.
I think that I will share with people that we as humans, we are meant to be happy. We're meant to be healthy. We're meant to drive, as I said earlier. So if you're struggling in any way, physically, emotionally, in your relationships, from work, finances, love, whatever area is not flowing in your life, and you have struggled enough, you have available these tools now with us in our school. And you can explore from a very long list of practitioners around the world. You can check also from our teacher list and see who resonates more with you. Or maybe it's because it's closer to your location. But the point is to try and open up to seek for help on this level, because some experiences are karmic experiences. And as long as you don't get that karmic lesson, the struggle probably will not end. And with this work, we can assist people to end that. And by being a more happy individual, more connected, more inspired, basically you're helping also your family, your circle, your social circle. You're helping also humanity, raising your vibration. So it's an invitation to everybody to really stop a struggle, know that that's not our essence, and to open up to these tools that we offer and experience it and see what it brings for you. So that would be my last invitation for people. And I truly feel that it can change people's life like it did with me.
Wow, that is so inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing. And
My
yeah,
pleasure.
so if people want to get in touch with you, where can they go?
Yes, I have a website. It's called PleiadianEnergyTherapy.com.
Okay.
And I have all the information there and my email. And if somebody's interested, then you can contact me and I will be happy to assist you.
Okay. Thank you so much for this interview, Roberto.
Oh, my pleasure, Inga. I really enjoy it.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope it was as good for you as it was for me. Okay. And of course, a big thank you to Roberto Jativa for sharing his inspiration with us. If you'd like to know more about Roberto and his work, go to his website, which is www.pleiadianenergytherapy.com. I repeat, pleiadianenergytherapy.com. If you'd like to know more about the works of Amorah Quan Yin and the Dolphin Star Temple and Pleiadian Lightwork, you can also visit the Dolphin Star Temple website, which is www.dolphinstartemple.org. www.dolphinstartemple.org. Or go to the Facebook page. You can find the Dolphin Star Temple under Dolphin Star Temple. Thank you again for listening, and hope to catch you next time on Sounds of the Dolphin Star Temple. Keep shining, everyone.